Hello again. I'm here today to talk about the Urantia book, the fact of it being a revelation from God about Him and about us and about everything. I believe it to be truth. I believe it to be the fifth revelation, and I think we need to study it, try to understand it, live it, and apply it. I think it gives us a pretty good map of our destiny as a planet and our destiny as a super universe. It shows us that the universe is really a friendly place. It's a well ordered universe. In the perfect areas of Havana, it is perfect. In the super universes and below, it is incomplete. It is still imperfect, and it is growing and expanding, and slowly, by experience of each and every individual and spiritual entity, it is perfecting itself in the supreme level. Eventually, we will reach the age of supremacy when we have completed that phase of our evolutionary progress. So, our particular planet, um, our ultimate destiny, as with also super universes, is to reach the times of light and life. Each planet has that destiny, each system, each constellation, each local universe, and each super universe. Eventually, as a whole complete unit, will reach the times of light and life. But let's talk about our planet. We're on this planet, so let's talk about our planet, the planet of Urantia, and what the book tells us about it. Now, as a planet, we God's plan is a slow progress, a slow step by step. It takes eons of time. Nothing is fast. Remember, we run on a clock of eternity, not the clock of our planet. So things do not happen overnight. Things do not happen in a lifetime. Sometimes it takes 8 billions of years to accomplish things. And it's a step by step. We've had 5 revelations so far, and we will have more. The 5 we've had so far. The first step was our planetary prince. Okay? And he came about 500,000 years ago. Normally, he would be around for the rest of the history of the planet, and under the normal way a planet, according to the will of God, goes. But being free will creatures, sometimes we get off track. And our planet has had a real up and down colored history, starting with the first revelation. Caligostia, our planetary prince, threw in with Lucifer in his rebellion. So he was demoted, no longer planetary prince. But nobody took his place. So the world went on. Um, some of the people, uh, both celestial and, of course, in their short lives, human, that rejected God and followed in the place of rebellion, were still on this planet for a while. The second revelation, though we did not make spiritual progress, we did have biologic, biological process. When we had reached the proper biological stage, it was time for an Adam and Eve to come down, to reveal truth and to bring on the mechanized age and spiritual government and guide us and prepare us for the next step. So, and also their mission was to biologically upstep our physical natures by their violet blood, by mixing their progeny with us. So, unfortunately, we lost that too. Adam and Eve defaulted in their mission. They were not supposed to personally mate with humans, and they did. So they were downstep to humans themselves and had to live the same way we do and find God just like us, just the same steps we take. Third revelation of truth was about probably around 4,000 years ago. Machiventa Melchizedek volunteered to come to the planet. The light was almost gone. Light was almost gone on this earth. So he came down and he incarnated. This was an emergency mission. This isn't a regular revelation that happens on a normal planet. And he was accepted. And he taught for 92 years, sent missionaries all over the world. And basically, most of the religions we have today um, have roots in the Melchizedek. But he couldn't stay here forever. He stayed here 92 years. And then he was able to go back on high. He had done his job. He passed the light on to Abraham and his, his progeny, which became the Jewish people. Um, yeah. So, of course, they got their ideas kind of confused and again went off in a wrong direction, thinking they were the chosen race. Not chosen to spread religion, but chosen as a race above all others. And that is why we ran into the next problem. The next revelation. We had a bestowal son. Okay? Only one planet in the whole local universe gets Michael of Nebadon as a bestowal son. He chose the planet of Urantia to make his seventh bestowal as a human being from birth to death, to live the experience of a human being, to show the perfect way of life. And his was an example not just for this planet, but for every planet within his local universe. This is for everybody. So, and some of the things that we may think is weird, got to remember, he was living a life for every single being in his local universe. So we might not understand everything he did. His mission was so-so. He did an excellent job. But because of traditional thought, man getting wrapped up in his own traditions and evolved ideas, and sometimes revealed ideas that he has changed. Like I said, they did not recognize their mission as to spread God to the world. They thought their mission was as a chosen race to rule the world. So this revelation, this fourth revelation of Jesus, his mission, of course, accomplished a lot, but it had some problems in the fact that um, the religion of that day, the religious leaders, did not accept him nor his truths, nor his teachings, and they murdered him, something that was not necessary for him to go through. He did have to die, but he didn't have to be murdered. But that the God Jesus was following God, the Father's will, and the will of the Father was for him to live out his normal life, and his normal life led him to the cross. It wasn't necessary, but because of the prejudices, the bigotry, the hate, that's where it ended up leading him. Even after he left, there were some problems because his teachings were skewed off a little. He taught all about the loving Father, that he was always the Father. The Father. If you've seen me, you've seen the Father. Everything he taught was pointing to the Father and how the Father loved us and how the Father's Spirit lives within us. But after he died, instead of the religion of Jesus, they turned it to a religion about Jesus, making him a sacrifice for our sins. So now this teaching has gone on for some 2,000 years. And thinking of today is kind of dangerous too, because they believe the next thing that's going to happen is the devil, we'll just call it, is going to come back and rule the world for 1,000 years, and we'll suffer and all that. And then when that's over, it'll all be ended, and then we'll turn into their idea of perfect heaven. So if we follow that idea, the next revealed teacher might have some problems too. So what I want to look at is, what is the next possible step? What is the next possible revelation? People have talked about Jesus' return, and he promised to return, and he will return one day. But I think, my own personal opinion, that's a long, long, long time from now. I don't think that's the next step, because we have to be quite far along the evolutionary trail towards the years of light and life before he'll ever show up again. He might even be during the times of light and life that he finally shows up, or it might be before that. It's up to him. His decision. It's his planet. He'll know when, where, and of course it will be perfect timing. But I believe that's going to be a while. What would be the next second possibility? Well, as I said, we've had some odd things, and Jesus coming down as a bestowal son was out of order. Normally, when we get a bestowal son, it's not till after the magisterial missions, the judicial missions, and it's not till the planet is on a high level of civilization, uh, way far from where we're at right now. So that came out of order, but that was his decision. So what happens next? Will it be a magisterial mission? That should have come before his time, but it didn't. I personally think a magisterial mission is not likely either. Once again, the magisterial mission comes at a time when we are more evolved. Right now, we're not evolved enough. Normally, you should have blended races, all one blood, brotherhood of man, nations living in peace together. So we're way far away from that. So I don't see a magisterial son coming either. Not yet. Personal opinion, could happen. I don't know. This plan's in Jesus' hands and Michael of Nebadon's, and he'll decide how he wants to do things. We might not even have a magisterial mission at all. Who knows? It's said that somewhere in the book. We might not even have any of the normal things that happen. But then again, we might. So I'm going to leave it at that. This video is about over. I'm going to pick up on my next video. Thank you very much for listening. Let's all do all we can for the brotherhood of man. The fatherhood of God constitutes the brotherhood of man, and it's what's going to take our planet forward. Thank you.